Yo, ladies, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario. So, I gotta have some real talk, some real tough love today because, I come across a lot of women. They'll hit me up and they're like, "Man, what's wrong with these guys? Like, why aren't you teaching these guys how to be gentlemen? Or, why are these guys? They just seem like they just want sex and they're all players and they don't want to commit and they're immature, right?" Now, see, in this video, I want to talk about why you're, probably not going to find the man you want. Now, if you listen to what I'm saying in this audio, right, you'll find the man you want. But I'm going to tell you why most women are not going to find the man they want, and hopefully you're not going to be one of those women, right? Now, the reason why most women aren't going to find the man they want is, one, most women have unrealistic expectations. And two, most women don't want to work at finding the man they want. So you have unrealistic expectations, and two, you don't want to work at finding the man you want. Now let me, break this down. See, the unrealistic expectations comes from you perceiving things a certain way, but they're not really how you see them. So what I mean is this, is that when you're dealing with men, right, you might get attention from a lot of guys. You might go on an online dating site. A lot of guys are, messaging you. So what you think is that these guys, they're like fully interested. Like they actually are like really interested in you. But what you got to understand is that these guys, most of them are first just interested in sex. Now, some women understand this, some women don't. Right? So what happens is that, the women that don't understand this and they think that the guys are like, oh, I got all these guys around me, but I'm waiting for that perfect guy. I'm waiting for the guy who's like 6'5", making six figures and looks like, a supermodel or whatever it is. So if you have this ideal guy in your head who's, basically unrealistic, because most guys aren't even, above 6 feet or whatever, you understand? So what happens is that you're waiting out, or you're basically waiting for that perfect type of dude. And the reason why you're waiting for that perfect type of dude is because you actually think that you have more options than you really have. So what I mean is that you see that all these guys are trying to talk to you on the online dating site. You see all these guys when you go to the bar, the club, trying to, hit on you. So you think, oh, I'm just not getting hit on by that perfect guy yet. I'm just waiting for him. I'm waiting for that guy. You understand? I might use these other guys for attention and, to play around, but I'm waiting for that perfect guy. So therefore, I'm not going to stick with this dude over here who's a good guy, who I get along with. I'm not going to stick with him. I'm still waiting out for something better. And you think that there's something better going to come along because you just keep getting bombarded with all these guys. But again, you're getting bombarded with all these guys because all these guys just want sex. But you're not really interacting with men in the way to really cultivate a situation to where if you even did find that, quote unquote, dream guy you had, you haven't cultivated a type of game to actually keep him interested, because all this time you've just been sort of waiting around, chilling, taking the attention from all the guys that are, hitting you up, and thinking that you have the option to wait around for this perfect guy who may never come, instead of recognizing the guys that you have in front of you who would be great for you and trying to make something happen with that. Right? So this brings me to the second point of women not wanting to work at getting the guys they want. I was talking to a woman the other day, and I was saying to her, asking her, hey, do you try online dating? And she was like, oh, no, online dating is terrible. I tried it. It doesn't work. And I'm like, really? So I was like, what's your experience with this? Like, what makes you think it don't work? So she tells me, she was like, yeah, I went out on this date with this guy last month, and I met him, and we just didn't really click. And, I just kept it moving or whatever. And I said, okay, well, I was like, well, tell me about another situation you had on online dating. She's like, oh, no, that's it. That's all I did. Right? So now she's saying that online dating doesn't work strictly, and she's only went on one date for online dating. You understand what I'm saying? She's not putting in the work in order to actually get success. She went on one date from an online dating site, and now she's saying that online dating doesn't work, right? I was actually talking to another girl, and she was like, oh, I'm not having success, and I'm not really meeting the right guys, and this and this and that, right? So I said to her, I said, okay, how many guys have you dated, within the last week? And she was like 0. And I'm like, okay, so okay, how many guys have you dated within the last month? She said maybe about 2. So she's dated no guys that week. She's only dated 2 guys within that month. She's not working hard enough. You understand? And also what happens is that because you're having trouble with the situations you're having right now with the guys you're dealing with, what happens is that you get frustrated and tired of the whole thing, right? So you probably dated a few guys here, a few guys there. You're like, oh, these guys suck and blah, 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 and I'm not having success and everything. But what happens is that since you're not feeling those situations, you start to sort of slack or start to give up on it. You're not maintaining it. It's like if you were going to the gym and you wanted to lose weight and have a great body and keep your body fit. And then you go there and you're like, oh, these weights are too heavy and I'm sweating too much and it's just so hard. And then you stop because you just don't like that feeling of having to sweat and lift the weights and it's just so hard. So what happens is that you stop, and then when you stop, you don't have the body you want. You understand? It's about the maintenance. So when you're dealing with men and you're out here on the dating scene, you have to keep it going. You have to continuously date men. Even while you're dating, and it's going to be guys you don't like. There's going to be certain guys you're going to meet that are going to be assholes. There's going to be certain guys you're going to meet that are annoying. But then in order to get the guy that you want, or the right guy, you have to be able to go through those situations. You understand? There's no way around it. But see, the thing is that, too many times you give up or you get annoyed by the situation, and then you don't really get what you want, right? Because you have that, again, those unrealistic expectations, and you're not actually working on trying to find that guy. You're just sort of like sitting back, being passive. You're like, oh, God will find me a man. I'm just going to, sit here and wait for it to fall in my lap. You understand? And then nothing ever actually happens. So, it's very important for you to understand that if you want a man, you have to get rid of those unrealistic expectations. I'm not saying you have to settle for any dude, but you have to be more realistic about the type of guys that you're trying to get, because you're not going to find that perfect dude. There is no perfect dude. You understand? And 2, you have to put in some more work. You can't be going on one date on an online dating site. You can't be, going around only dating 2 guys a month and expect to find the guy that you want. See, the thing that's letting you, that's stopping you a lot of times is the fear too. You understand? You're scared of a guy that you like not calling you back. You're scared of being rejected. Your ego can't take it. So in order for you to not have to deal with that, or you see a guy that you like, in order for you to not have to, feel that type of feeling, you avoid everything altogether. And then therefore you don't make anything happen. I've seen this happen plenty of times where women are trying to make stuff happen, but they're too scared to make a move, or they're too scared to open up because they're scared of what could happen. And therefore they don't do anything and make up some excuse. Oh, I'm busy. I'm focused. I got so many other things to do. I'm not ready for that right now. Yada, yada, yada. But what the reality is that you're scared of actually, doing things that's going to benefit you to actually find the guy you want. Right. So what you need to do is have some realistic expectations and put in some work and then you're going to find the guy you want. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you have any questions, make sure you click the link below, and make sure you also go to hewantsyou.com to get my audio program, 7 Highly Effective Steps for Finding and Keeping a Man. And I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.